Hey, what's going on, guys? The first ever regionals for Union Arena has wrapped up, and some of the deck lists from the top 16 have been posted on Exburst. So shout out to Exburst for having this for us to take a look at. And while not every deck list has been submitted so far, hopefully these all do get updated eventually. And yeah, we're going to dive into the ones that we have available today. Also, if you guys do happen to have connections to maybe any of these missing deck lists, would be awesome to see each and every one of them, especially like the Squad Zero decks, and I want to see this One Punch one for sure, the Sukuna and Nanami one that isn't updated currently. So if anybody has a way to get the info on these deck lists or get them updated, that would be really awesome to see. But yeah, again, shout out to Exburst for putting this together for us, and yeah, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Also, if any of the players from the tournament have videos up, or people have videos of them up talking about playing with the decks from their first-hand experience, definitely plug yourself in the comments. Would love to watch those myself personally, and I'm sure it'd be really insightful just hearing about playing these decks from your own point of view. So just wanted to mention that because there's only so much I can tell from the different deck builds. Starting it out here, though, the winning deck from Somethingfresh, the blue Mustang deck. So there's a few interesting things to point out here for sure. Love that he's doing the 11 zeros and the 4 1s. That's kind of the route I've been leaning towards with like all of my decks. Only 3 2s as far as bodies. So the ramp, I don't know, at times if you look at it like this, it can feel a little risky, but I feel like this is almost perfect as far as going with the bare minimums to not bricks. So that's really cool to see. It's almost the theme I've been doing with my zeros and ones, so we'll see if it kind of stays consistent throughout them all. But yeah, I feel like this is a pretty standard, really good build to go with for sure for the blue Mustang deck. Getting a little bit of everything and just having some nice ramp to it. And then it looks like he had 4 of each of the double energy generators, so the color trigger, Maze Hughes, as well as the Riza Hawkeye. This not having a trigger almost made me cut to 3 of it, but I mean, listen, it's so justifiable. Now, this was super interesting to see. Edward Elric at a 2 of. Again, this is something that I'd love to hear from the firsthand from like the person that played this deck to see how impactful this Edward was, because I've definitely looked at his abilities and wondered how much of a game changer he could be for a deck like this. Maybe just dumping the rest of your hand to give all your cards impact, or maybe using his active main for whatever situation, maybe something I can't think of. But yeah, I'm really curious if this Edward actually came into play at all. But he's got a 2 of them in there. Again, even if it is just a 4K body extra pressure, it could also come online as like an impact as well. So yeah, really cool to see that he had 2 of these in there. 4 of the Roy Mustangs that are when attacking. If your hand is empty, he allows you to draw a card. So yeah, not a bad card to have at all. Again, raid targets, triggers and stuff, 4K body. So yeah, it makes sense that you're going to want to have 4 of for these. And of course, 4 of each of the raids, the staples of the deck. Can't imagine there's much, if any, Mustang decks that are running any less than 4 of each of these. And then the military is in trouble at a 2 of. Now, I was hesitant to go to a full 4 of for this just because too many events in a body-heavy game like Union Arena where you want bodies on the board could be annoying. But it is such an amazing card. I was curious if people were running 4 ofs of it, but he was only running 2 of it. So yeah, very good, very strong card. But at the end of the day, I personally imagine just having more access to bodies on the board, more raid targets in general is just going to be a safer bet for sure. So yeah, really cool to see 2 of this and 2 of the Edwards really stands out. And then of course, 4 ofs for the finals and the special. Again, it'll be cool to be going through this to see if anybody did go with any less of like the finals or something. You never know. You never know what people try to experiment with for sure, or maybe less color triggers. But yeah, all around for the winners deck, definitely took me by surprise a little bit that there was 2 ofs for the Edwards, 2 of the military is in trouble, but all around pretty standard build. And again, I've been curious about the whole 11s for zeros, 4 for 1s, even just going 3 2s, but it looks like in the right decks it can definitely work out for sure. Now with the draw power and deck filtration, a little less risky to play it like this with less low cost cards, so you're not risking bricking or whatever. But all around, really strong deck right here for sure. The winning deck, Roy Mustang. And then man, I was really hoping this was going to be updated, but second place was Renji Rush. Just if you haven't seen from the day it dropped, Purple Bleach, Renji Rush has just been a monster. I'm sure there's some card splash in here from Volume 2. There had to have been, but again, would love to see that deck list. So if you guys have a way to get these updated or contact the people too, would be so awesome. And then taking a look at Floytlesangen, looks like he had a different change of 0 cost here. So he went with the Black Hiates instead of, what was homie using over here? Oh, nice. So yeah, so it looks like we did have a different 0 change here. Black Hayate instead of Vato Fallman. Essentially, if there's ever this guy in your set, the draw 1, trash 1 is a 0, I try to put him in there. But yeah, bro tried to go with the Black Hayate, and I mean, he got 3rd, so I'm sure it came up a few times at least, right? Anyways, Black Hayate, very, very interesting to mix it up here for sure. This one allowing you to search for a Riza or whoever that other dude is. Forget his name. But yeah, he's not in here, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, you can essentially search out a Riza and then trash one if you find her. I mean, he has an active trigger, so not terrible to have either. So interesting 0 cost change. 5 ones instead of 4, but still almost the 2-2 split there. Going with 4 2s to keep it a little safe, but going down to 2 of the Roy Mustangs and 2 of the Alex Armstrongs. One played draw one, trash one. Active trigger with a 3K body. I like that. Nice little splash in. The thing that's interesting though is cutting out your raid target. You don't want to, if you can't raid, you want those raid targets. That's all I'm gonna say. 2 of the militaries in trouble again. Weird that how it sorted it differently for this. Anyways, 2 of the militaries in trouble again, and 2 Edward Elrics. Guess I'm gonna have to try that. I think I'm at like 3 of the militaries in trouble and no Edwards. I'm gonna have to switch it up. I have to give this a try after. Let's see, 4 and 4 of the Maze and the Riza, 4 finals, 4 specials. The only big difference here is, yeah, now we have 2 instead of 4 of the Roy Mustangs. So again, less access to cards to target for raiding, less 4K bodies, but again, more on the safe side as far as hoping to not brick essentially. So yeah, 1 more 1, 1 more 2, but 2 less 4s. Think about that. Think about that. Could be interesting. But again, you're going the safer route because you don't want to show up and you don't want to show up and brick and have a bunch of 4s in your hand. And then 4th place, Alex Jeong, I believe. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Let's see. We got the same 0s as 1st place. Again, we're going to, oh dang, we've got 7 1s now. We're just going up in the 1s right now. Very interesting to see. Roy Mustang, we've got 4 of the 2 costs. Again, 4 of each of the double generators, so 8 3 costs total. And then, yeah, standard. Now, this is interesting. No Edwards and no the military's in trouble. So, very interesting choice, especially the military's in trouble. The Edward was a debatable pick. I personally don't know if I would have ended up running him, but again, I'm so curious if anyone's watching this, if Somethingfresh is watching this, or if there's a more in-depth breakdown to your gameplay. Very curious if how much the Edwards made a difference outside of just being a 4K body. Anyways, let's see here. But yeah, so we don't have any Edwards. No militaries in trouble is a little crazy though. I think that card looks too good to not run, especially with all these 1s. I probably would have ended up going like 2-2 and then military's in trouble. I don't know, but still very cool to see. Very cool to see. And it makes sense to do it like this though. Forget the event cards, forget the draw power through the event cards. I'll just have more bodies that allow me to sort of get that done, but then I also have blockers and attackers and raid targets. It could definitely change the game, but that military's in trouble, draw 2, and then if your hand is empty, essentially draw 3. Very good, very good. So yeah, if it's the only card in your hand, you draw 3. And then our first Squad 0 deck on the list, Taylor, getting 5th place. Let's see what he got. So zeros, got 4 zeros here. The standards that you'd run in Squad 0, I imagine. You got 5 1s. Oh, you went with 1 color trigger Ichigo. Okay. Is this your only? Oh, and then obviously Ichibei. So 3 Ichibeis instead of 4 to splash in 1 Ichigo. Okay. But then we have the 4 Senjimarus, who you need for the raid targets. And then we have 2 of the double energy generating Ichigos. So yeah, this is definitely with 1 here, 3 here. These Ichigos, this is a little bit of like a hybrid, a splash in of Ichigo more than you normally would, I feel like. I haven't really ran Squad 0 or looked into building it a bunch myself, so I don't know how like standard this Ichigo is with the starter deck, but I've definitely seen this Ichigo ran with it for sure, so definitely not a big surprise at all. But all around, Squad 0 is such an amazing deck, dude. But yeah, looking at the Squad 0 deck here, very nice. Again, pretty standard. We've got the Oetsus. I'd say is this a standard going with 1 Ichigo and then 3 of the Ichibeis? This card's so good for Squad 0. Going to 3 of it's interesting. Senjimaru, very good. Ichigo, your 4 of, that gets buffed from Squad 0s in your removal, etc. Cards in your sideline, right? Or no, isn't it all in your removal? But yeah, 4 cost Squad 0 Ichigo that you're of course running. And then again, I'm not sure what the staple is for this Ichigo, but I do like seeing him splashed into these. As long as you've got other Ichigo raid targets, you could even raid on top of this one if you really wanted to. It is just a straight up raid removal, so you never know. Could come into play. And then 4 Bankais, 4 specials, and 4 palaces. I don't know if anyone's running any less than 4, but man, do I love the palace, so very, very good staples. So yeah, all around pretty standard Squad 0 deck, but pretty interesting to see these Ichigo splash-ins for sure. And then looks like Siggy did not have a deck list for for Mustang, but they did get 6th place with it. Very cool. All right, and now one that I am very excited to take a look at. We've got a Todo deck from massive shout out to Div, one of my favorite decks in Union Arena. So cool to see that he got 7th place with this. That is so awesome. All right, let's take a look at it though. Obviously, no Tojis. He didn't go the greedy route like I did. But let's see what we got here. So we've got 12 zeros, not going with 11. I like that 11 flow, but now you got 3 1s, so justified. 4 of the 2-cost Mechamarus, who are so good for this deck, just for the extra generation, raid target. And then we got the 4 color triggered Mutas, very nice. 4 of the double energy generating Miwas, of course. 2 Goodwill events. Okay, so we're splashing Goodwill, and there it is, 3 finals. I think this is justified, man. I think in certain decks, I don't know if this would be one of them because you don't get a bunch of free plays, but for example, with my Edward and Alphonse, the brothers deck from Full Metal, because of how much free plays you're doing out of the sideline and stuff, and, you know, obviously having finals is important. Having extra turns where you have more than 3 action points is huge, but in decks where like the Full Metal deck where you're getting extra plays off of abilities, I didn't mind going down to 3 of these, honestly. So this is interesting to see. Glad to see I'm not 100% alone here, and someone made it to finals with that. Because again, it's if this card isn't the last card in your life, if this card is in your life, like the only time it's ever really useful, I feel like, is in your hand. So yeah, it's risky sometimes at 4. Anyways, my rant's over for the finals. Experiment with 3 people, I feel like. But specials, we got to keep it at 4. And we got the Boogie Woogie, of course. Such a good special in this game. Bottom deck with a draw. Hopefully your opponent can't play a 3 off of it. But guess what? Even if they do, maybe you can be extra toxic and Mechamaru remove that 3 cost. Who knows? Miwa's with the 2 of. Okay, yeah, I don't think we ever cut this Miwa completely, but I like the 2, maybe 3 maximum. Her just being a 2 action point and pretty much wanting a good amount of bodies on the board before you play her. Makes her hard to run at 4 of for sure, but yeah, 2 so justified. Having those turns where you're set up and she's ready to be pushed up active. You've got a double attacker, you've got a damage to Todo, maybe you've got swaps going in with him too. Like, there's just so much you can do with this deck. One of the best double energy generators in the game, 4 cost Todo, 4 of. Love this guy. You play him on the front line, you can swap him to your energy line. Listen, I love Todo, and I'm glad to see someone else is repping it, dude. And the Mechamaru raids 4 of. So yeah, in my current build, I went a little greedy. I think I cut like, I don't even know what, 2 of something, and then I have 2 Tojis splashing around in here. They can be really good, but you definitely will want to go with a build like this, all Kyoto school. So yeah, really cool to see. Congratulations on 7th div. This is really cool to see. And then we're going to be missing a few decks here, unfortunately. Hank, Color, Nash, Rigo, and Fabio. Listen, I want to see these decks, okay? Squad 0, want to see some changes. This One Punch Man, I gotta see the exact build on this. I love this deck, and I want to see what you were running. So yeah, if anybody got plugs on these guys, if y'all can find a way to get these decks updated, me and the community, we'd appreciate it. We'd appreciate it. Okay, and then we got 13th place, Will Murphy. And by the way, if you guys don't know, every single deck we're going over, top 16, is going to North America Finals. So big shout out to them. Congratulations, dude. That is so cool. Alright, this one's just got some alt art splashed in there, so it might look a little strange, but we'll break it down here. So yeah, so we've got the 11 zeros, very nice. We're going with the Fallman instead of the Black Hayate. We got the 2-2, sorry, no, we've actually got 7 1s again. Okay, 7 1s, man, that's crazy. But I mean, again, you're not bricking with 7 1s, right? Roy Mustang, we've got 3 of him. Oh, sorry, 4 with the alt art. Maze Hughes, we've got 4 with the alt art, 4 of the Riza Hawkeye. So yeah, pretty standard that we've seen across the board. This deck basically just made the cut with no Edwards and no of the event cards. The Military's in trouble. Very, very interesting. The Edward cuts I can understand because I feel like that card I couldn't find. I was trying to figure out its exact role in all this, right? But Military's in trouble. I can't believe you guys didn't just flash in 1 or 2 at least. That's crazy. But you got all the ones, man. Very cool to see. Very cool to see. Mustang cooking, bro. I'm sure it's justified, though, man. More bodies on the board. You could draw off the other abilities. Let's see. Xanax. Is this... I think this is one of the homies from Colorado. Who knows, right? I'm going to have to reach out and find out. Yo, Xanax, if this is you from Colorado, bro, all seas, yo, shout out to you, homie. That is so cool to see. But yeah, no deck list from Xanax. If there was any way for us to get that updated, absolute legend. And also K-Dog John, 16th place. We do not have the 1 green bleach deck, but we do have this. I personally don't know much about Code Geass, but I think this is really cool to see. A red Code Geass deck from Volume 1. Volume 2 is not out yet. Volume 1 back in December. made it to 15th place. Marcelo, dude, massive props, bro. Again, I haven't looked into Code Geass much at all. This was the one Union Arena set that I kind of just skipped over, especially because of how early it was in the release of Union. I'm going to have to go back and look at all these decks, because I know purple's a monstrosity. I know green can be annoying. But red made it to top 15? I never hear this talked about. What happened? What? I'm so curious. I'm going to have to check this deck out now, because I know nothing about this deck. I'm going to be honest. If it was green or purple, I'd have some things to say, but red Code Geass. And it's not even the one affinity I hear about, Pizza Affinity. What is this? Let's see. So we got our 12 zeros. Sorry, 14 zeros. Did we go with a weenie rush? Is that what happened? Yeah, that if any color can do it, it's red, dude. So we went with 14 zeros. 14 zeros. Let's see, just your standard cards. We've also got a one play draw and trash, but only a 2 of for that one. Interesting. I wonder if these nullify impactors came in clutch, because that's a great ability to have, nullify impact, when people aren't ready for it. Let's see, we've got 7 ones. This is looking like a weenie rush deck. I'm gonna try this now, dude. I'm so curious. It got top 15. It's got to be decent. And then we got a 2-cost card that just has step with an active trigger. What is this deck, dude? What? School Festival. Look at the top 4 cards. Reveal 2 characters with Ashford Academy. Add them to your hand. Oh, nice. So it's a search 4, grab 2, but no trigger. Wow. But he's got 1 of it. So if it comes up in your hand, dude, that is such a great card. I was doing this with my Demon Slayer deck. There's a card like this for Tanjiro Nezuko. Let's see. Ashford Academy. 4 of field card here. Did we go? We went 0 finals. This deck just keeps getting more interesting. What? This is sick, dude. This got 15 plays. What, Marcelo? Yo, listen, if there's any way you have insight on this deck, anything, I'm so curious, because now I'm gonna be trying this out. No final cards. 4 specials, of course. You're not cutting your specials. But he did it without the finals. Wow, holy. And again, if anyone might not be 100% aware, it's not necessarily the final trigger of the card that you are running it for. It's the AP restand, being able to use more than just 3 action points in a turn. But all right, let's see here. 8 3-costs. No, sorry, 12 3-costs. I guess that's the advantage, man. You've got more bodies. Bro was not bricking. He was definitely going to play the game. That's for sure, dude. And then 4 of his raid card here. Yeah, I'm going to be looking into this deck, dude. This is interesting. What does the field card do? Play this card set to active on your field. Active main, switch to rest. You choose 1 character on your field, 3 care less. Ashford Affinity, and switch it to active. Yeah, it's a weenie rush deck. Is that what happened? Bro was just swinging with 4 bodies by turn 3. Turn 4, people couldn't do anything about it, and he was just constantly pushing up and swinging. Sometimes that's how you win in Union Arena, bro. It's just how it works. That's fascinating. Yo, shout out to Marcelo for that. I did not expect to see that, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, there it is, boys. That is every single deck that we have so far from the top 16, broken down from my point of view, because 1, I just wanted to go over them, and 2, sort of just break them down for people that might be curious. Again, we are basically missing about half of them, more or less, so if there is any connections out there, if you're watching this and you went and played, and you want to give us insight from your point of view, how the deck played, comment down below, let us know. If you've got a video talking about it, even better. Don't just drop a comment. Drop a comment letting us know to go check you out. Yeah. Feel free to plug yourself, because this is where we learn stuff. This is where we meet people. This is really, really interesting. But yeah, if you guys have a way to update these, though, if these do get updated in the next week or so, maybe do a part 2 going over the rest of the deck list. Would love to do that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on all this, dude. Roy Mustang taking the dub. Todo slipping his way into top 8. Freaking red Code Geass. What? What? No final? This is fascinating. This deck has got me questioning so much. I want to try so many different decks right now because of this. But anyways, much love for everyone watching. I appreciate all the support, as always. Absolute legends. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.